Hello and welcome. It's Fiona here from wearethelightworkers.com.au and Spirit Child Journey. I'm just wanting to show you the beautiful full moon that is forming. We are here for the September full moon update and energy update. So the full moon in September is on the 24th of September 2018 and it's getting very close now. Today we're recording this on September 22nd, which is the equinox, and it means that we are halfway through. We are right in between. In the southern hemisphere, we are officially the first day of spring, so right in between that depth of winter, we're finally coming out the other side. And in the northern hemisphere, you're in your autumn equinox as well. So the full moon this weekend is often referred to as the harvest full moon because it was actually the one that was very definitive for the farming community. It was one that this time of year signifies, if you're in the northern hemisphere, it signifies it is time to really rush and get those crops in before it starts to get too cold or before the animals start to eat them all. And here in the southern hemisphere, it's a time to harvest the winter crops and start to plant. If you haven't already, it's really getting ready to plant the new crops and the new seeds, the new energy. So for us on our personal journey, it's really taking into account that same time of year, that same part that we are aligned with nature as well. So the beautiful thing about where I am at the moment is I'm on the little farm in Western Australia, having just moved here. So it's not as quiet as I thought it would be. You can hear the evening bird song, a few dogs around, and but I still wanted to record it outside. Again, hopefully we'll get little glimpses of the moon behind my head as we move around. But this full moon is really special. So I'm going to talk specifically about the Southern Hemisphere energies at the moment because we're in our stage of emergence. We have just had the longest, heaviest, darkest winter with all the retrogrades and all the eclipses and everything that's been happening, and we've finally come through the other side. So this full moon is the Aries full moon, and Aries is all about the head and about the ego. So there's a lot going on that's logical at the moment as well, and really starting to understand and think about who do we want to be? Who do we want to be in our external reality? So we've done a lot of internal work, a lot of soul searching, a lot of heart work over the last few months. And especially for those of us who've done a lot of clearing. So always with the full moon, stuff is coming up, emotional stuff is coming up. So those of you who've already been on a big clearing and releasing journey and really made the most of the last few months of healing energy and letting go and cutting out all the old dead wood energy, then this full moon is actually going to bring a lot of activity with it. There's a lot of kind of even to the point of frustration because it's time to move. There's stuff that just wants to happen. The gift that's coming with this full moon is there is a lot of alignment with our true self. This is kind of the theme for the year, has been coming into alignment, finding out what is the message in your heart, what is your heart song, what is your soul purpose for being here, what is it that you are here to do. And this full moon is bringing a lot of everything that you need to live your true purpose. Now, the caveat of that is it's whether you are ready for it or not. So there's a lot of things coming to us right now, a lot of synchronicities and coincidences and opportunities to clean stuff up, but also to express and move forward. So for those of us who've done the work, there are wonderful things starting to fall into place. And this is really a time of building momentum, especially now as we're coming into the new moon. As we move into the new moon, there will be real planting energy, lots of sowing so that we can make the most of it over the coming months, over the summer energy as well. So as I said, make sure we've done a lot of the clearing and letting go. And now is time to figure out, okay, now that we've got this fertile ground, that it's all been cleaned out, all the weeds are gone, all of the stuck and the muck that we had in there is gone. Now what are we going to fill it with? Are you going to plant a vegetable garden? Are you going to plant a flower garden? You know, what is it now that you've cleaned out what you don't want in your life? Who are you? Who do you want to be? Who is you in alignment with your ideal self, with your soul purpose, with the mission that you are here to do. And that's what the energy of this full moon, regardless of which hemisphere you're in, that is the energy of this full moon. There's a lot going on as well with Saturn as well. Saturn's in Capricorn at the moment, which I won't go into the technical detail of, but Saturn can be a very heavy energy. And I know for me, it's moved into the correct house this year because it's about planning and structure and organization. And for some people, that can feel very restrictive. But the Saturn energy as well brings a lot of maturity. So it's kind of time to go, all right, this is my purpose. It's time to accept it and get on with it. You know, enough faffing around. The last few months for many people, even the last few weeks, have brought up a lot of fear energy as well. And it's all to do with the different alignments and what's going on. And it's kind of, I liken it to the fear of the realization that all of the problems that we had in our life are now gone because we've been doing the work to clean them out, which means we are faced with the biggest problem of all. And that is that the only thing standing in our way now is ourselves. Now, on a spiritual level, we've only ever been the only thing standing in our way. But now we've cut out all the excuses, whether we've changed locations or jobs or relationships or whatever we've got rid of in our lives, in our external reality, we are left with just ourselves. And so now any issues we're experiencing are definitely ours. You know, anything that's holding us back now is not them. It's not the universal external. It's ourselves. And that brings up a huge amount of fear when you realize that all of your dreams are about to come true if you follow through. And that's where the logic and the ego of the Aries energy as well, Rams are quite stubborn. If you've ever done any farming, they can be a little stupid, but they can also be a little stubborn. And they're I've got Rams barring in the background here as well. And they can, once they fixate on something, they'll go straight for it. So it's having that energy of just barging through, of pushing through, of not letting anything stand in your way, but really pushing through. And I love that sometimes we can take our time and wait for the emotions and wait for inspired action energy. And other times we just have to write a list, know what we need to do, and just get on with it. And sometimes it's actually getting on with it and doing things that help us to overcome the fear. Because the fear of waiting gets worse when we wait longer. And so after we've done all the clearing, all the releasing and really connected with our true selves, now it's time to clarify what you want, make a plan and get on with it. And that's the energies that we have at the moment. So there's this real energy of momentum. So for those of you still having those last few restrictions, maybe you're still in the old job or you're waiting to move or you've got some other stuff going on, really see how you can finalize anything that you can in the next couple of days. Let it all go with the full moon. And then it's time to speak up. So anything that is still in your current reality, in your external reality as of the next few days and weeks, it's yours now and it's you. So any problems that you're experiencing are there as an opportunity for you. So it's time to speak up. It's time to recognize that anything external is internal, and actually have the courage to test that theory. Expect people to match your vibration. Expect yourself to succeed. Expect that you are going to follow through. So thinking about, is there anything that you've been saying you're gonna do and then not following through because of fear? This is the time to follow through. So maybe you've been saying you want to be a speaker, but you're not actually getting out there and speaking. Maybe you're wanting to start a new business, but you're hiding behind, oh, I've just got to learn a new job. You know, maybe it's time, maybe you've been saying you're going to get healthy, but you keep eating chocolate. Whatever it happens to be, now is the time to say it and do it anyway. As Susan Jeffers said, it's time to feel the fear, do it anyway. And same goes for any of those very tough conversations you need to have. Maybe your ideal self is someone that doesn't tolerate bullying, and yet you're in a workplace where there's still bullying going on. So you're internally saying, I don't tolerate it, and yet externally still tolerating it. it's time to speak up. There are times to pick our battles, and for many people, especially light workers, because we're so empathic, it's easier to just walk away and not say anything and trust that somebody else will fix it. Now is the time to recognize nobody else is going to. So it's learning how to speak, do the behaviors of who you are becoming, even before you've fully integrated it and arrived yet. So I trust that makes sense. There's also still some Venus in retrograde energy going on at the moment, which is causing us to question relationships. And remember, relationships are not just our intimate relationships. They're our family, our friendships, our colleagues, our workplaces. When things go in retrograde, they cause us to question and analyze and just take a second look over everything and make sure that it is how we wanted it to be. So we're getting wonderful opportunities to bring our behaviors and our external reality into alignment with our new internal beliefs and values and spiritual connection that we've been on this year. So it's really, appreciating this time right now. It can be a little bit overwhelming, it can be a little bit intense, but as long as we keep on moving forward, it's respecting that our behaviors will change and our external reality will change. We are being given the gifts in this energy. We've been doing so much work with healing and clearing out all the dead wood and anything that no longer serves. So now it's time to focus. As we're moving into spring, let's focus on planting the seeds. Over the next few days and over the full moon energy as well. So we've got the equinox now, the days are getting longer, time to get out in the sunshine and get a bit more solar powered, charge up a little bit, and really use the next few days to think it through. Develop yourself a criteria for who you are becoming. How will you know you are being your ideal self? How will you know you are doing the behaviors that are in alignment with the future that you want to create? How do you know that you're being the ideal partner, the ideal parent, the ideal business owner that you want to be? Take the time over the full moon and tap into your higher self. Just meditate, take some time, really get out in nature if you can and ground yourself and connect with what's in your heart. And then think through what are the behaviors you're going to need to do to bring all of that now into your external reality. Maybe there's some things that need to change. Maybe there's some new skills you need to learn. Maybe there is just habits you need to break and new habits you need to form. Whatever it is, as we're moving through these next few months, it is definitely time. The momentum is building. The energy is coming, especially here in the Southern Hemisphere. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, it's heading into winter, so there's a slightly different energy. But here in the South, it is time to really build that momentum. The healing is done to the best it can be done now until we actually are faced with more triggers. So now you've got to get out there. It's time. We've kind of done the cocoon moments. We've done the caterpillar going into the cocoon, turning to mush, turning into a butterfly. Now it's pushing through out the other side, and we've got to find our flowers. We've got to get out there and create ourselves. There's a great saying, life's not about finding yourself, it's about creating yourself. And that's the energy that we have right now. It's all aligning to help us out. Just continue on your journey. Really allow yourself to appreciate the full moon. If there's still stuff to clean out, clean it out. If there's still things that you're afraid of facing, face them. It's only once we face things that we can fix it. The fear is not of our darkness, it is of our lightness, as Marianne Williamson said so beautifully. The clients that I'm working with at the moment that are experiencing the most fear are the ones that have the most potential. There is a fear because not that we'll fail, but that we will succeed and what that means. So don't just wait until it happens and then deal with it. Be proactive now. Use the energy that's coming. Clarify what is your criteria, what is your ideal day, your ideal business, your ideal self in your future, and then let's start living that over the next few months. So I trust this has been valuable. Enjoy the equinox. Enjoy the beautiful full moon. Get out there and see it. I'm out here now. I can see the most incredible stars. I'm out of the city. I'm in the country. It is a whole different world out here, and there's so many beautiful things I want to share with you coming forward. So enjoy the energies and stay tuned. There'll be many more updates, probably with a lot more birdsong as well. And I'm loving getting to connect with all of you. So until we speak again, take care of you, take care of others, and take care of the greater good. Bye for now.